What's this? Tabletop Island, huh? Let's see what this is all about.
Volcar, you really couldn't help me out and kill these bugs? Jesus, you said they're down here? Oh my gosh. Looks like we got an ant problem. Some beetles, what the heck? Oh god, there's a spider. Here, Volcar, I'm gonna need you to hold on the camera before I drop it. Please, we gotta get these. Wait, do you wanna get them? Of course you're scared of spiders, Jesus Christ. Alright, just hold the camera. Alright, you got it? You sure? Alright, I'm gonna grab flip-flop. Alright, Jesus Christ. Oh, we got it. Oh, thank God. Oh, here, I'll take the camera. Hey, look. It's a ladybug. I don't mind them. Wait, what was... Volcar, what's on my nose? Volcar? You said it's a bee? Volcar, grab the other shoe, quick. Did you get it? Welcome to Tabletop Island. I'm Renato, your host, and today we're going to be taking a look at the game Hive Pocket. This game is really small. It packs small really well. In fact, even the regular Hive packs pretty small, but I'm going to be talking about Pocket and why I do think that is the better version. We'll get into that in a moment. I will also start off by saying I'm not a two-player game fan at all, and this one really grabbed me, and man, do I have a treat for you guys. But let's first take a look at the components. So first you have these really nice kind of domino material pieces here. There are these hexagon tiles with bugs engraved in them and inked. They look fantastic and they're definitely made to last. You can tell here that this is the kind of game you could take to the beach. You can have getting dirty in sand. It doesn't really matter. These are going to last the test of time. Again, it definitely feels a lot like a domino, same material. Now, I keep it for this Halloween theme because it's with bugs. Now, if you know me, I am terrified of spiders. Not a big fan of bugs in general. And yeah, this does seem like the kind of game I would have avoided, but so many people thought highly of it, so I had to give it a try myself, and I'm so glad I did. Now, you have all of these pieces here, so each of them have their own ability. It's almost like a more strategic or a kind of strategic version of chess without being overly complicated, without you feeling you need to overthink things, which I seem to have to do with chess, mainly because I kind of suck at chess. But that's neither here nor there. With this game, it doesn't feel too intimidating. When I first opened it up and played with my girlfriend, I thought that we would be a little intimidated by it and that she might not enjoy it. She actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought she would, and I am so happy she did because we had a blast playing it. Now, each of these bugs have their own abilities. Now, you do get tiles in two colors. You got the kind of inverted color, which is the black with the kind of color picture in the middle, and then the other one is the white lighter tile with also the color in the middle there. They definitely contrast really well, and with this game you really have to manage your resources properly because you have to think the first tile that you put touching your opponent's kind of first tile is never going to move, so whichever one you put there is going to be very crucial. Keeping in mind you only ever have 3 grasshoppers, 3 ants, you have 2 spiders and 2 beetles, then of course you have 1 honeybee, 1, again, if you have Hive Pocket or the expansion for regular Hive, it's going to be 1 ladybug and 1 mosquito. So understanding your resource management is also crucial, which is why this game won't overstay its welcome because you only have so many pieces that you can move. We'll first start off with the 5 that you'll see in Hive. Now, the reason why I say that is because both the ladybug and the mosquito are not in regular Hive. In fact, they do come in Hive, but they come as an expansion. With Hive Pocket, it always comes with it. The only thing you have to add, which you again also have to add for regular Hive, is the pill bug, which I currently don't own, but I'll definitely be on the lookout to get that rather soon because I very much enjoy this game. Now, we have a few of them here, but the premise of the game is you're going to be placing tile by tile. Now, the first tile that you connect with your opponent can touch your opponent's tile. Everything after that cannot touch your opponent's tile. Now, if you end up using an ability to move one of your pieces, it can eventually move to touch one of your opponent's tile, but it can't directly be placed against an opponent's tile. Your goal is to get your pieces surrounding your opponent's queen bee. That's the premise of the game. And you also want to avoid your opponents from getting to yours. Now, ways of movement. So the queen bee has to be placed within the first 4 moves that you end up placing a tile down. Once that's placed, the real game starts. Now, with movement, you can start at any point in time in the game. Just be mindful of that placement rule. Now, they all have different movements. You have the grasshopper, who can move directly across the entire kind of hive in a straight line. And again, it can be touching an opponent's tile. That's not an issue at all, but it can't when it is initially placed, much like I stated before. Then you have a spider, which, of course, I am terrified of spiders, can move up to 3 spaces. So it can move 1, 2, 3 against the hexagons. This is a good way to kind of get some more leverage and speedy way to getting around your opponent's queen bee, but the one that's even more fast at that is going to be the ant. The ant can move across the honeycomb along a straight path all the way around the board. This is the fastest way of movement, but it's also important how you move them, because you can kind of screw yourself out of certain positions if you get too early with the ants, because you think the first thought in your mind is, let me move all of my ants across first and get them so I cover at least 2 sides of my opponent. Now, that sounds good on paper, but it doesn't always work out that way, so be mindful of that. Then you have the Beetle, which is my absolute favorite one. The Beetle has 1 movement, but it can go on top of tiles. And whenever it's on top of a tile, that tile cannot move. Why is this important, you're asking? Well, 1, it allows you to kind of be a sneak and get your way across the hive a 1 by 1 and getting it around your opponent's queen bee. But more importantly, if you cover your opponent's queen bee, they can't move, because the queen bee can move exactly 1. So while you're trying to trap your opponent's tile, they can move it 1 and really throw your game off to where you now have to readjust your entire strategy just off of them moving once. But with the Beetle, it keeps it there, so then you can kind of surround it, and once you get to your last piece, the Beetle can drop down and end the game. That seems to be the way I've seen it end more, but I've started to notice a bunch of different strategies with the Beetle, which I'm also a big fan of, such as stopping your opponent's ants, which can be really crucial. Now, these are what are in regular Hive. The expansions that I like here involves the Ladybug and the Mosquito. These are actually some of my favorites. In fact, my all-time favorite is going to be the Ladybug. How the Ladybug moves is it has to move 2 on top, 1 down, and it has to move it in that order. So where you place it is really going to be crucial, because once you start moving, let's say, an ant close to your opponents, you get to attach this to this. You can go on top of yours, on top of your opponents, then down around near the queen bee. That seems to be my favorite way to utilize it, but this has so much utility, I couldn't even begin to explain how many different ways you can use it. And then finally, the Mosquito. Whichever tile the Mosquito is touching, it gets to absorb that ability. Now, you can do things such as take a Beetle, go on top of tiles, and it doesn't reset until it actually drops down. And it can actually, if you do it with the Beetle, it can suck and take the ability of another one, much like a few of the others. Same with like taking the Grasshopper, moving across to the other side. Then you can now use the ability of the next one that it touches on your following turn. This can be really crucial, and utilizing it as an ant seems to be one that I've seen very common, because you can move it all around the board and try to quickly surround your opponent's queen bee. Sounds easy on paper, but there is a lot more thinking than you would think. However, the game does not overstay its welcome, and I think that's what I enjoy about it more than anything. You can get a bunch of games in rather quickly, and it gets your brain flowing and enough strategy to really feel like you're outthinking your opponents without overstraining things and without scaring new players who aren't big gamers or into like heavy Euro games, for example, or even chess for that example. But this is such a solid game. It's quick, it's easy to teach, it's fun for the whole family, and again, it's a 2-player game, so your whole family won't be able to play it all at once unless you get multiple copies and you're kind of rotating different matches. That's a way to do it. But if you're getting into a point where you only have the ability to play with one other person, especially with quarantine, this is the game I would check out. And if you're scared of bugs like I am, don't be steered away, because I promise you the gameplay is a lot better than the theme. As I've mentioned before, every day for this entire month I'll be releasing a new video. Whether it's a bonus review, a how-to, or maybe even just a ghost story. I'll be keeping the theme and we'll be having a whole lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Now, if you are interested in notifications, there's a bell up there somewhere. Please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate any feedback. I'm trying to make these videos more and more outrageous, and with your guys' help, I have been doing so. As for the regular schedule, we have Monday, regular board game reviews, Wednesday, weekly update / talks, and then on Fridays, my vintage board game reviews. That is all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys next time.